Hello. I thought I would attempt to do a live video because it is what the right thing to do at the moment. It is something that I put in place for when I don't feel good, and I think April 29th was 29th or the 30th was the last day of my antidepressant and medication treatment for all my health problems that have been going on. And since then, it's a matter of just waiting and watching, and this is my first month as being a female, for symptoms and stuff. Of course, the first 10 days was not, fun, but at the same time, nothing else was going on, so I didn't have any problems with it coming out of my system, so that's good. So this is the flare-up of my hormones changing and stuff. Of course, my cycle planner says that my cycle was supposed to start probably like 3 or 4 days ago, and it hasn't. I don't really believe it. I think it's I don't think it's that far behind, but I wish that I could have like a glass of wine or something right now, but I am super afraid of doing that, so I will not be consuming. My main issue right now is nausea. I learned while working with the doctors in the past 2 years that sure enough, nausea is treated with an antipsychotic medication. But the thing is that I was on an antidepressant and was still getting, actually, when I was taking the epilepsy medicine, I wasn't getting nauseous like this. So it the reason for the nausea is because I can think clearly, so that's fun. So I took a nap because I, of course, have some CBD oil, and one of the interesting things about, I guess I can call it PTSD, is what's happening. I called that a couple of years, not last fall, but the fall before, when I had to stop, after the hurricane. I was like, okay, I definitely have PTSD right now, and that lasted several weeks, and it's a physical thing. I was throwing up tons, but that's when I had to cease the antipsychotic, and it wasn't until about 10 months later that I was able to even pick up the antidepressant to combat the symptoms, and I should have gone from one to the other. So that is how difficult it was dealing with the antipsychotic. So all of that stuff is in the past. The wound that I had that was in, was there from me, fucking with it and stuff, kind of like my thumbnails, are all pretty much they're all warped and stuff now from me messing with them so much. So all that's good, all that's taken care of. But yeah, I feel really nauseous. I took a nap and, had a bunch of nightmares and stuff, and of course, because I can't think, my willpower, I don't know exactly what it is. When I look up and research the word or the phrase, whatever, PTSD, one of the top symptoms is something that I'm experiencing, and it is like a drop in, like, remembering. Like, it's like a really sudden change in where my focus is in general. Like, like I go to sleep and I'll wake up and I'm like, and it's not about anything, like there isn't anything in particular, it's like a completely different, focus change, so that's not fun, and it doesn't just stop, I thought it's obviously related to my female cycle, because it's a stimulation thing where I'm like, all of a sudden, it's weird because it's like being in a seizure, but I'm cognitively clear. I can sit here and talk, and I'm not having any kind of weird psychotic type issues or anything. Like, my vision doesn't change when I can't see better without my glasses on, kind of thing. So I feel completely normal. I just feel really tired, but my mind is not happy with me right now, and I can't really concentrate on anything. But the most, and when I say concentrate, obviously I'm physically concentrating, because I'm not like, running all over the place or anything like that. In fact, like, I have a little bit of a difference. It's just a concentration thing, because, like, I pulled this out, that's what I was gonna say, and I'm like, I need to try to, use this a couple times to see if it'll make me feel a little bit more calm and stuff. And, like, I don't do it. Like, I'll sit here, for an entire hour and just not, and I may hit it once or twice, but, like, I can't, absolutely, something bit my face, absolutely, will not use it. So, it doesn't have it, like, there isn't a whole lot in it. I've had it for over a year. Like, you can kind of see the barrels in it and stuff. It's got some oil still in it and stuff, but it, yeah, but at the same time, I think what is happening is I'm having panic attacks. Like, I took a nap because I get this really hollow feeling, and I get depressed, because my memory gets a little weird, and that is the PTSD part. That is, like, obviously I'm, like, getting PTSD because I feel my hormones change. And when I say PTSD, like I tried to just explain, that means that, everything kind of drops. All of a sudden, just, like, I'm nauseous, I just, am not in a good mood, and I can't think very clearly. Like, it's really hard to explain. It's like I went outside and someone shut the door behind me. So I'm not really sure what that is about. It's like going from not having an attention issue to all of a sudden having an attention issue, and nothing like caused it. Nothing happened. It's just really upsetting, because I can't work when I'm like this, because I can't have a conversation with anybody. And it's really embarrassing. So because of those couple things, I have to make sure that when I'm sitting stationary, that I don't think about anything, because I have been through a lot. So, everything is a lot more, calm and less emotional and stuff. I did work through a lot of trauma and stuff that I haven't ever faced directly over the past couple of years, and that definitely was not fun, you know. Definitely going to sleep in one place in there and waking up in a different place, and that's extremely disorienting. So the level of things right now is very, 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 very minimal, to what I was doing, and that's awesome. That's great. I'm not feeling good. I wish I had a bunch of food to eat. That would be really nice. I don't. Kind of feel like I kind of wish I had a box of macaroni and cheese. I think I've got enough money to go and maybe pick some up. I might do that, because the big thing right now is to try to keep myself stimulated a little bit. Like, I just washed my hair for temperature change and stuff. Hopefully I can find something to distract myself enough in order to be able to go back to sleep in a little while. Hopefully this doesn't last a super long time. I may be stuck in Mobile at the moment. I probably, if I remember correctly from when I was younger, and I used to experience situations kind of like this when I was on antidepressants, or trying to medicate before I realized that my system wouldn't use them. I just forgot what I was going to say, but I used to get a lot of I used to get some symptoms like this and stuff. Of course, I'd get up and go talk to somebody and see somebody and figure it out, and have somebody else help me work through some of my attention issues during it, and then I would find somebody. I had lots of stuff to do. I do not have you know, anything but work in my life now to do. I don't have any kind of social, I don't have any family, I don't have any friends, like, there's nobody that needs me or wants me or anything like that, so, you know, I'm not on, the only kind of time schedule I have is my bills that I have to pay, and that's not a good feeling, especially since, the life that I have lived. You know, it's like everybody died at once. So, of course I'm gonna have some nightmares, every now and then about that. And, you know, I guess the time that would happen is during hormonal changes. You know, talking right now like this on a video, it does make me feel a little better. It helps me with the panic attack part. Like, I wash my hair, and I'm thinking about going to the grocery store and getting some macaroni and cheese, like I just said. So that's good. So I can't think about, like, oh, when is this gonna stop? When am I gonna feel better? Because I can't remember. Because it is a situation, like a multiple personality situation, where, like, it's such a drastic shift between, like, 2 days ago and today, that it's really overwhelming. You would never know it looking at me. You would probably never know it talking to me. I am having a little bit of brain zap issues. That is a little frustrating. But my number one goal right now is to keep my anxiety level down and not make any super drastic changes towards anything. My hands hurt so bad, both of them, but especially my right one because it's the one I use. It's just really sore. This came up, like, this happened, I mean, this is part of it. Like, I use my hands every day from driving and stuff, but, I'm getting, like, there's definitely some tension level that goes up and changes, along with the PTSD. And that leaves me in pain afterwards. It's very reminiscent of the grand mal seizure, or the grand mal. I don't know, you know, like, maybe that is part, maybe I'm having, like, a bit of something like that happen, and that's what's, causing the pain. I'm having a lot of, like, spaciness, due to this. So it's like, whew, I don't really have much to say to talk, like, to start a conversation, and usually I go off on other, like, conversations that I've had, and during this period of time I don't have any access to that, so I just feel yucky, and there really isn't anything I can do about it. So luckily I'm too poor to have to sit here and eat and because I don't have anybody close right now, I can't like go over, and eat at somebody's house or anything like that. So, ow. That's not an issue, but I feel really crazy. It's like my body doesn't, besides my hands, both my hands hurting really bad. I think it's the fear of like not worrying while I'm like this. Like I feel, you know, it's kind of like being drunk and not wanting to be drunk. That kind of thing, I guess you could say. Whew. So, whew, I think I might try to go to the grocery store and grab some macaroni and cheese. And maybe try to make that. I think that might make me feel a little better. Ick. I'm hoping that over the next couple months that I will start to, like, now, because one thing that is different right now than what has been different for a long time now is that the brain fog. Like, I'm not having any brain fog, and usually when I go into the state, I'll also deal with a whole bunch of brain fog, and so I don't have that. But I do have, like, it is like tunnel vision, kind of. I guess that's the best way to describe it, is like tunnel vision. But I'm not having, the brain fog part alludes to like the psychogenic blindness, and I'm not having any of that. So that is a huge win, because that was absolutely terrifying and terrible, and it was very much a someone threw fire at me kind of feeling. So I'm not like that. I'm calm. There's a big difference, and it really freaks me out. So, yeah. So I'm gonna go do that. I'm gonna go hopefully find some inexpensive macaroni and cheese and focus on that. Maybe even watch a movie or something. I don't know. I'm having a hard time, as I've been having a harder time in the last couple years, like, where I am. But the past 6 months has still been like that. And I mean, like, where I am, what I'm sitting in my house, where I'm sitting at my house. Like, I don't want to be on the couch. I don't want to be on the porch. I don't want to be in my bedroom. Yeah, I can't just sit in my car for hours at a time. Like, that kind of stuff does freak out the neighbors a little bit. I can sometimes, and also I don't really want to. So, ouch. I need to cut my grass, and I can't do that at the moment. Not only because I don't feel good, but because my hands hurt so damn bad. But, yeah, that's all I really have to say. But this did make me feel a little bit more clear. I guess depending on, this doesn't just, I don't just wake up and this disappear. It doesn't go away like it comes in, which it is a situation where like it happens really quickly. So this is something that goes away over a week and appears like in 12 hours. So yeah, that is the situation with it. Damn it, is all I gotta say. Something that's really stupid about this is probably one of the reasons. For one, it doesn't really do anything but kind of desensitize me to stuff like my automated behaviors. Like, I will sit here and constantly try to rub and massage my hand and stuff because it hurts, and it's really sore and stuff. And so this does help me, like, not pay attention. Of course, it doesn't take the pain away out of my hand, but it makes me not pay attention to it. It makes me not, like, pick at my hands and stuff a little bit. It is a little bit stimulating to my mind, but I think because there's not much in it, it's making me not, like, want to use it, weirdly. So that's stupid, but totally something I do. So I do feel a little icky. It's a really pretty evening. I think I am gonna definitely go get the macaroni and cheese and maybe sit down and try to read a book or something, or look through a book, because I am super, super, super thankful to be able to read right now. Like I said, that is one of the things that I haven't been able to do, is read. When I get brain fog, like, I cannot focus and, like, conceptualize what things are around me or anything like that. Nuances, you know, like, thinking of the connection. Like, say I look over there and I'm like, oh, my grandmother planted this plant and that plant. I wonder what the connection, like, are there any connections to, like, those two particular plants sitting beside each other, you know? Nothing super important, but, like, it is a type of a little bit of a mental games and stuff that I cannot, it's just not there during that. Visualization, maybe that's what it is. It's like I cannot visualize anything right now. So, or, excuse me, I have usually during this point in time, it is so severe I cannot visualize anything. So where it's usually like 8 and 9 is in the hospital, but like 6 and 7, you know, as it was at the end of last summer and stuff. The meltdowns, I guess you can say, is what they actually are. They are not happening. It's very low. Like, I woke up and it was like 4, and ow, it's not just my hands that hurt, it's everything. But it's very minimal. It's like literally 1, 2, 3 level of pain. I'm gonna go try to find my wallet. Oh, should be in my purse. But I don't know. You know, one of the things that I'm experiencing a lot of right during this kind of situation is I all of a sudden feel like really self-conscious. I feel a lot of different things all at once that are not a lot of fun. If I had money, I'd go sit over at the radio room and talk to people, but I don't have any money, so I can't. Maybe that's what I'll do over the summer. Maybe when I get to feeling like this, I'll go get something to eat, that kind of thing, with people, around people I know, because it is one of those things, like I said, the stimulation helps, and I'm usually not like that. Usually I'm like, you know, I've got set things I like, set things I don't like, and I don't want to be in situations that I don't like. You know, I have to some priority list of things that I have to take care of. Ooh. And I I don't do a whole lot of experimenting, but when I'm like this, I'm like, ooh, I need to do some experimenting with, you know, like I just mentioned, putting myself in uncomfortable situations and making changes and stuff. But I do have to be, like, really wary, like, careful about that. And I am, like, it's nothing too extreme, but, that is a change that is not something I appreciate. It is not welcomed. So I end up sitting here feeling crazy because you know, it's like something terrible's happened and there isn't anything terrible that's happened. Nothing's, you know, changed in any sense. So overnight, you know, so that's me. That's just me that I'm perceiving. I'm having a hard time with that change. So, ew. I would like, I'm gonna see what I've got, but I really would like to eat like 2 boxes of Kraft macaroni and cheese. There's absolutely no way I can stomach that, but that sounds like a really good idea. Some painkillers also would be nice, but I've never, usually this kind of stuff goes away really quick. I've never had it last so long or anything that I've, it has to be something that, it's never had to be something treated. Ow. Usually, anytime I get, most of the time, when I get any kind of like damage or anything, it goes away pretty quickly. The only thing that doesn't go away all that quickly is skin wounds. So, whew. Alright, I guess I'm gonna attempt to go find some macaroni and cheese, I guess. Today is Thursday, I think. Mother's Day and working the day before really kicked my ass. That's probably what this has to do with. And it didn't come up until a couple days later. So, that's weird. Anyways, I'm going to stop talking. I hope everybody enjoys the rest of their Thursday. And I will probably make another one of these tomorrow. If anybody watched through this to the end of it. You're a weird guy. Thanks.